What's your retirement number? 1,000,000? 2,000,000? 3? Maybe one night you sat at the kitchen table, typed your numbers into a retirement calculator, and it told you that you need $1.8 million to be safe. And ever since then, that number has lived quietly in the back of your mind, like a finish line, like a verdict, like a measurement of whether you've done enough. We talk about retirement as if it's one big math equation. Hit the right number, and everything else falls into place. Miss it, and you're in danger. But what if we're asking the wrong question? Because here's what decades of research and thousands of real retirees actually show. Money absolutely improves retirement, right up until the point where it stops being the thing standing between you and peace. And that crossover happens a lot earlier than most people think. And even more importantly, how your money is structured may matter more than how much you have. My name is Robert. On this channel, I break down retirement, Medicare, Social Security, and the psychology of money in plain English for people over 60. I'm not your financial advisor, and this is educational information based on research from sources like the University of Michigan's Health and Retirement Study, the Federal Reserve, and peer-reviewed behavioral finance research. Always confirm your personal strategy with a qualified professional. Before we go any further, I want you to do something. Type your age in the comments and tell me your biggest concern right now. Medical bills, prescription costs, market volatility, retirement timing, caregiving, loneliness, scams. You are not alone in that concern. Now let's start with the study that changed how many people think about retirement wealth. Researcher Michael Finke analyzed data from the University of Michigan's Health and Retirement Study, a longitudinal survey tracking roughly 20,000 Americans over 50. It's one of the most comprehensive data sets we have on how retirees actually live and how satisfied they feel. Here's what the analysis found. Retirement satisfaction rises as wealth increases, but the curve flattens significantly around $4 to $4.5 million in investable assets. Now pause. That does not mean you need $4 million to be happy. It means something very different. It means that the emotional return on each additional dollar declines as wealth rises. Going from $250,000 in investable assets to $1.5 million, that often produces a major improvement in life satisfaction. Going from $4 million to $8 million? The improvement is marginal for most people. Economists call this diminishing marginal utility. Each additional dollar delivers less happiness than the one before it. Let's visualize this. At $250,000 in retirement assets, a retiree may feel fragile. Market drops feel dangerous. Unexpected expenses feel threatening. At $750,000, there's more security, less panic. At $1.5 million, fear declines dramatically for many households. At $3 million, there are options: travel, flexibility, margin. By $4 million, the emotional benefit plateaus for most people. Above that, lifestyle upgrades increase, but happiness barely moves. And this aligns with broader research. In 2010, Daniel Kahneman and Angus Deaton found that daily emotional well-being rose with income up to about $75,000 per year at that time. Adjusted for inflation today, that's roughly $110,000 to $130,000. More recent research from Matthew Killingsworth suggests happiness continues rising with income, but the slope becomes much smaller. Money helps tremendously until it doesn't. Why? Because money solves problems in layers. Layer 1 is survival and safety: food, housing, healthcare, security. When those are uncertain, financial stress is overwhelming. The steepest happiness gains occur when basic needs are covered. Layer 2 is autonomy, the ability to leave a toxic job, to retire from a draining boss, to structure your time. This is deeply meaningful, and it happens far earlier than most people think. Layer 3 is comfort and flexibility, travel, helping grandchildren, handling surprises without panic. Layer 4 is status and luxury, second homes, first-class flights, luxury vehicles. The emotional return in this layer collapses quickly. And here's the key. By the time you reach higher wealth levels, most of your remaining challenges are no longer financial. They're human. Health, relationships, purpose, belonging. A 70-year-old with $1.8 million, a strong marriage, good health, and close friendships often reports greater life satisfaction than a lonely retiree with $12 million. Money matters, but it's not the whole list. Now let me introduce something that completely changes how you should think about retirement planning. It's not just about how much you have. It's about how your income is structured. Michael Finke uses a phrase I love, a license to spend. Retirees with reliable income streams, Social Security, pensions, annuities, consistently report feeling more comfortable spending than retirees with the same wealth sitting in investment accounts. Let me show you what that means. Retiree A has $3 million invested. No pension. They follow a 4% withdrawal strategy, generating about $120,000 per year. Add $65,000 in Social Security for a couple, and they have roughly $185,000 per year in income. On paper, that's excellent. But every month they think, what if the market drops 30%? What if inflation spikes? What if we live to 95? What if long-term care costs $10,000 a month? Emotionally, they feel like they're spending their savings. Now meet retiree B. They have $1.2 million invested, but they have $8,000 per month in combined Social Security and pension income, $96,000 annually before touching their portfolio. Their investments are backup, not lifeline. Even with less total wealth, they often feel wealthier because their uncertainty is lower. Behavioral finance research on mental accounting confirms this. People treat portfolio principal as dangerous to spend and guaranteed income as safe to spend. This is why income planning matters as much as portfolio size. Now here's where this becomes practical. If you're worried about healthcare costs, Medicare complexity, IRMA surcharges, and prescription expenses, income structure affects those too. For example, if you manage withdrawals strategically before age 73, the current RMD age under SECR Act 2.0, you may reduce future required distributions. Lower RMDs can mean lower taxable income. Lower taxable income can reduce IRMA Medicare premium surcharges. Lower premiums mean more predictable monthly expenses. Synergy. The system connects. Let me tell you about Linda. Linda retired with $2.4 million invested. No pension. She delayed Social Security to age 70 to maximize her benefit. Financially, she was strong. Emotionally, she felt anxious. Every withdrawal felt like erosion. After reviewing her plan, she chose to annuitize a small portion of her portfolio to create an additional guaranteed income stream. Her net worth technically decreased. Her anxiety dropped dramatically. She told me, "It finally feels like a paycheck instead of a countdown." Now here's something else nobody tells you. Chasing the next million can cost you something more valuable. I've spoken to retirees who worked 5 additional years to grow from $3 million to $4.5 million. During those years, they postponed travel, missed time with grandchildren, stayed in jobs that drained them. Research suggests the additional happiness gain from that extra dollar, $1.5 million, is often minimal. But the time cost is real. Now, I am not saying retire recklessly. Financial preparedness matters enormously. But get incredibly clear on what the next dollar is buying you. Is it moving you from fear to security? Or from comfort to slightly more comfort? That difference matters. Now, before I share the #1 insight that ties all of this together, if this is helping you rethink retirement planning, hit like and subscribe. Stay with me because this next point changes everything. The #1 secret most retirees overlook is this. The goal of retirement planning is not to maximize wealth. It is to eliminate uncertainty. Uncertainty about healthcare. Uncertainty about income. Uncertainty about taxes. Uncertainty about longevity. Programs like Medicare savings programs, extra help for prescriptions, property tax relief, and IRMA reconsideration don't just save money. They reduce uncertainty. Lower Medicare premiums create predictable monthly budgets. Extra help reduces pharmacy anxiety. Property tax freezes stabilize housing costs. Certainty creates peace. Peace creates happiness. Money is one piece. Structure is another. Now let me ask you something honestly. At what number would you feel safe? Is it $1 million, $2 million, $3 million? Or is it really something else? Maybe it's knowing your healthcare is covered. Maybe it's knowing you won't burden your children. Maybe it's having enough guaranteed income that you can exhale. Retirement planning isn't about chasing a giant number until the day you die. It's about finding the point where money stops being the thing standing between you and a good life, and then building the life itself. Health, relationships, purpose, community. Those are investments too, and they compound differently. So here's my challenge for you this week. Don't just ask, how big can my portfolio get? Ask, what problem is this next dollar solving? And once that problem is solved, ask what matters next. Because you are not behind. You are not foolish. You are navigating a complex system with courage. And if you're here, thinking deeply about this, you are already doing better than you realize. Tell me in the comments, what number have you been chasing? And what would actually make you feel secure? You are not alone in this journey, and you still have options. I'll see you in the next video.